Hello there, girls and boys! Guitar tone is one of the most important things that we guitar players are always in the look of, and to be very frank, it's a never-ending quest. But one of the many things that we have learned, or at least I learned throughout my years of performing live, it's that carrying the stuff that allows you to get the tone that you like, it's super hard, it's draining, it's terribly cumbersome, and the worst part is not cheap. So I always try to find a solution to that very problem, and today I'm gonna be showing you one of the solutions. It's coming in the form of Tonex, which is a combination of a plugin and a pedal that in simple terms allows you to get access to the tone that you develop in the studio or in the rehearsal room, wherever you go, without the need of carrying your rig. Is that fantastic? Well, it is. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my uses for this system, but also an expansion on it, because I can also use it for recording music. Actually, the song that you heard at the beginning of this video was produced using this very technique. So stay tuned, because I'm going to share all of those details with you very soon. But before we go, if this is your first time on the channel, I welcome you, because in here I share with you every single thing I do in order to create, write, produce, and of course perform my music live. Because I know that making a living as a musician is not a dream, it's a possibility. And if I can do it, of course you can do it. With that being said, let's rock and roll. So why did I get into the Tonex ecosystem, you might be asking? The whole thing could be summarized into one word: profiling. What does profiling mean? You'll see, girls and boys, I've been developing the sound of my guitar tone for the last several months using this fantastic amplifier known as the Mesa Boogie DC5. This is an old relic from the dark age of technology, and as such, it's extremely fragile, it's extremely heavy, it's extremely bulky, and it's the kind of stuff that I won't carry with me when I am gigging outside of the studio. The thing is this: I am such a sucker for the tones that I'm getting out of it, and I wanted to find a way to keep that tone with me whenever I hit the stage. And here's the big one: Tonex allows you to do that through the use of profiling. Tonex is basically speaking a system that allows you to use the sound of your guitar amplifier wherever you are or inside of your computer without the need of the amplifier itself. The way it works is quite simple. The idea is to recreate the sound of your amplifier by taking a snapshot of wherever settings you got on your amp, and it doesn't stop there. It also allows you to create that snapshot through the use of not just the amplifier head alone, but also the cabinet combination, and also even the sound of a guitar rig comprised of pedals, cabinet, and amplifier. Super cool. The best part is that it's being recreated not only on the pedal itself, but also inside of your computer through the use of the Tonex app. The guitar sounds that you heard were created using Tonex and profiling my own Mesa amplifier, and will be completely available to be downloaded for free on ToneNet as soon as this video is released. Just be mindful that I created these sounds without a cabinet, so you will have to load your own IR or use the VR IR loader that comes with Tonex. More on that later. When it comes to my own sound, I developed this rig through the use of two different pedal boards. I have the first one, which is the small one, which is comprised of the Tonex pedal, the H9 by Eventide, and a Capsus, the stereo version. The whole point of this pedal board is to have access to a super comprehensive and yet tiny rig that comprises of basically everything I need for a small gig. Let's say that I'm gonna be hitting the stage for a few minutes, that's the board to go. But it also allows me to use this bad boy in combination of my big board, which is now turning my setup from a stereo setup into a wet dry wet setup. And yeah, it's that kind of complex, and I will be disclosing the whole setup later on this channel, so stay tuned for that one. So you can see that there is a lot of modularity to the sound. Now you might be saying, why do you have a Capsus at the end? For those of you who don't know, Capsus is a DI box that has also built-in cabinet speaker simulation. And the whole point of it is that I am sending to the main sound system of the gig the output of my Capsus, containing the sound of my Tonex, the effects, and of course, the cabinet sound. If you recall from a few minutes ago, Tonex is capable of recreating those cap sounds by its own, but the reason why I decided to use the Capsus is so I can use it as a DI out due to its XLR outputs, but also because I can even send the outputs without the effects of the cabinets into a power amp so I can use it on stage. But the thing is this, there is an extra secret element to the sound of my pedalboard, which is the JHS split box. And this guy is the first thing in the chain. What it's doing, it's splitting the signal into two lines. The first one is going into the Tonex pedal, and therefore the rest of the sound is going to be processed by the pedalboard, and the other one is going to be sent straight into my audio interface. I'm doing this because that way I can use my Tonex pedalboard for referencing and monitoring my performance while I am sending a DI track that I would be able to use later on so I can reamp it and do whatever I want with it inside of my DAW. Excellent, right? By the way, if you find this kind of content useful, let us know by clicking on the like button underneath. Let's continue. One of the benefits of this is that I would be getting rid of the latency that comes from directly recording your guitar into the interface and also applying some effects on it, such as a guitar modeler, right? And also, I will go straight into the sounds that I like so I can create my music in a much more expedited fashion. For example, if I want to get a clean section on one of my songs, I can just set the clean sound on my presets as part of the sound of my pedalboard, and there you got it. And then I can jump straight into a lead tone, so on and so forth. That's pretty useful. So there you have it, girls and boys. Tonex is really good, right? And the best part, as I mentioned throughout the video, you can download these very snapshots, these very profiles, so you can use them on your own productions or if you happen to be gigging on the road. If you happen to have more questions regarding Tonex or guitar tone or music production in general, please let me know in the comment section down below. As usual, girls and boys, if you'd like to support this channel even further, not just by subscribing, leaving a like, and also ringing the bell, you can also do it by listening to our music on Apple Music or Spotify, and also by following us on social media such as Twitter and Instagram, because that's the best way for you to get in touch with us in a much more personal basis. Now, girls and boys, as every single time that I meet you, I gotta remind you something. Never, ever, ever let anybody tell you what to dream about. Remember that I'll see you when I see you.